Hello, and welcome to another completely unprofessional unboxing. And today I'm going to be opening something that most of you probably are getting this time of year. For those of you who backed a lot of things during Zine Quest, you'll probably start to get a lot of the ones that, maybe struggling to get their things to print. There might have been some other issues that caused some delays. Whatever the case may be, most of us are going to start getting that Zine Quest trickle down, where a lot of these things are going to start arriving in the mail. And to be perfectly honest, most of us have forgotten what the hell they are. So, if you're like me, you will receive these packages, maybe every other week or every week, or depending on how many you backed, every couple days. And it'll be obvious what it is, who it's from, but not entirely sure what's inside of it. So, without further delay, I'm going to go ahead and open this thing without a clue, and let's see what's inside. So, I don't know if I'm going to need my trusty Coleman camping steak knife here, but, for sake of, I don't know, I guess canon or continuity, well, at least give it a little cut. As those of you who are still waiting for me to slice myself on YouTube, it might occur. So, crap. There we go. Oh, I felt a rush of air. Vacuum sealed, huh? So, it did show up in an excellent state. And aha, the Desert Moon of Karth. For use with the Mothership sci-fi RPG, sci-fi horror RPG, I should say, by Joel Hines. This was a thing that a lot of people were excited about when it was announced, and quite a few people have backed it, and I have been noticing that it's been arriving for other people who throw videos on YouTube, people posting things on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that. So was kind of anticipating this, but once again, just with the information on the front of the envelope, no idea what it is. So we'll take a quick look at it. Well, on the back, we have a I Searched the Body table, which is a good sign of how this adventure will probably go. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what the sales pitch was for this. I do remember it looked great. I do remember it was well within a decent amount to back it. And so, looks like it arrived. Well, little bent edge on the corner there, but, it is a zine. And, sending something like this with the message "do not bend" doesn't necessarily guarantee it will show up unbent. So we have what looks to be the Desert Moon of Karth, a map showing various numbered points on here. I assume that this is going to be maybe some sort of hex crawl across this map here as you explore this moon. There's a general welcome to Karth, a timeline of events, different factions with looks like little notations of their relationships between each other, and then obviously GM or Game Master help if you're running it. Such examples of the players do nothing, one potential future out of many, which is always helpful. Rumors around town. Information regarding coral dust, with the stages of addictions. I assume that's going to impact your players if they breathe it in. And then we go into what looks to be the meat of the scenario with the arrival. The first sense impressions of a place called Larstown. So I'm getting kind of a space western vibe off of this just by the artwork. As stated earlier, I don't even remember what this was based upon when they did the pitch on Kickstarter, but it's looking like this might be a wonderful thing to dive into. Giant fan of Firefly and other such space westerns as that. Makes for an interesting vibe, other than your typical, pristine Star Trek type settings where everything is brushed metal and not a bit of dirt to be seen. Shattered visage, Seahorse Mine, and I'm just going to flip through it fairly quickly because this is going to be a short one. Major NPCs with a bit of information to help you convey their interests and who they are regarding little blurbs on fears, desires, jobs, and secret jobs they may have for the characters within the game. A monster in there. Hopefully that's not a spoiler, but stuff that's inside worn or broken down space hulks on the desert moon. Information on the privateer crew. What do the Rangers believe? And I'm just calling out things as I see it. An old rejuvenation center. An observation chamber. Sorry. Quarry and bounty hunter generators. So, once again, this tells me a bit of information that, yes, this is probably definitely a space western type thing, maybe in the vein of the Mandalorian. I know as soon as that came out, there was quite a bit of people who were wanting to either play within the Star Wars universe as a Mandalorian clone or create a game with a similar vibe to it, and I can't blame them. It was, and it hopefully continues to be, an exceptional series to watch. Rules on dueling. Okay, yeah. So yeah, there's no there's no questioning this anymore. This is definitely something that, at least for me, I enjoy sci-fi. I enjoy weird westerns. I'm not a big fan of just generic Western role-playing games, but things that kind of give a little twist on the setting. And of course, combine the two, sci-fi and a Western theme makes for something that I will probably definitely be running here within the next, as soon as I have time available, but probably by the end of the year, give it a go. Sand squid interior, so the inside of this giant beast that you are obviously going to be going inside and exploring for whatever reason. A little bit of artifacts and things you'll find, some information on some other monsters within the game, and a D100 old tech artifacts table, things that you would probably find during your adventure on top of the artifacts. And of course, then I search the body for random stuff on the back. So, once again, this is Desert Moon of Karth by Joel Hines for use with the Mothership sci-fi horror role-playing game. And I'm excited. With just a simple page through, the artwork is good. It does convey what I would expect or what I would want out of a sci-fi space western, which is great. It is definitely easier to read than some of the other Mothership offerings. I do appreciate the layout and the artwork and the coloring of some of those, but due to the precedent set by such things as Pound of Flesh and the initial Mothership offerings, some of those get to be a little harder to read with the different colors that may look good on screen, but when they print out, for those who may be slightly colorblind, such as myself, makes it for a difficult thing to read physically. They looks fine on screen. So, little word of note: red on black or black on red, almost impossible for most people who have any sort of colorblind to read easily on print. So, if you like that kind of color schematic when you're doing your zines or your books, maybe either outline the letters with white or something that make them stand out above the color. Otherwise, to myself and others, it just meshes into a giant glob of either black or red, depending on what the dominant color is. So, but I digress. Desert Moon of Karth, very excited, happy for its arrival, looking forward to diving into it. And while you're at it, I'd just like to give a quick mention and shout out. I will be joining in on a new RPG podcast called Titterpigs with my friend Keith, who is who runs rollingboxcars.com, which is a review and other RPG and gaming information website. Go check it out if you haven't heard about it. And our podcast is going to be nothing more than a couple guys, talking shop, discussing things about RPGs, games, things that are happening in the news, just whatever floats our boat on the day that we press the record button. It's going to be different every time, but there will be We're hoping to do some interviews, have some guests, have some friends on that are also relative movers and shakers, I guess, for lack of a better term, and see how it goes. Like most things I do, it's primarily for shits and giggles and fun. So you can probably see, similar to on here, we may have our kids on. Well, I'll have my kids. Keith has his son is relatively older, but may get some of the kids involved, whether it be my son and his friends, my daughter, or even, people that we just know, and, get a often ignored view and perception of the gaming world, which is from the kids' point of view. Which, to be perfectly honest, none of this would exist for us to utilize and play right now if it wasn't for the ongoing curiosity and interest of our children and our future children continuing on playing these silly little dice games. So with that, I am Scott, and this has been another completely unprofessional unboxing. Look forward to you guys checking out the podcast. Check back here for some other things. Hopefully the next one will be more fun, have Taylor or Noah involved, or Noah's friend Zane, which is a laugh. But until then, have an excellent day, and we'll see you next time.